Today we're talking about 5 of my favorite movie scenes. Let's go. Hey, what's up everyone? This is Ethan Hall here today with another video for you, and today we're talking about 5 of my personal favorite scenes in movies. You will probably recognize some of these, maybe not all of them. Let's get right into it. These are in no particular order, these are just ones I personally enjoy, and I think you'll probably like too. The number 1 is kind of cheating because it's not actually a scene, it's just more of a shot. When I saw this shot, I was just like, this is amazing, and I had to put it in here. This is a shot from the movie Tree of Life. I could only find the clip for this in the trailer for the movie. I couldn't actually find the clip anywhere online, so I couldn't get the full clip in there, just a little piece of it. That's why it's so short. And it's pretty epic looking. Now, why this shot is so cool, it's really probably just because of the location itself. The location is crazy. It's this flat salt plain or something. I'm not sure what it is. And then with the sun behind or in front of her, and it just looks epic. It's crazy. It looks really good. Part of the reason this looks so good, though, isn't just because of the location. It's also because of the costume design. It was obviously purposely chosen. She'd be wearing a blue dress in this because it just matches the sky, and it all looks so good, and it looks surreal is the only word you can really put it. That's definitely going in the list. It's just epic. It's amazing. Number 2 is this scene from The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Boromir, it is a strange fate that we should suffer so much fear and doubt over so small a thing. Such a little thing. Boromir! Give the ring to Frodo. As you wish. I cannot.
So probably the main reason I like this scene is just because of the location again. As far as I know, most of all of these scenes they did in the mountains with the snow is real. They were really in the mountains, really in the snow, freezing cold, filming this stuff, and that just, like, if that doesn't make you respect them a ton, I don't know what will, because I mean, that's not fun. I mean, they were as far as I know, they were flown up there in helicopters, dropped off. You know, all got out in their costumes, camera gear, equipment, lighting equipment, climbed down on these mountains, and plus the shot with the ring in the snow is just it looks awesome. I mean, I don't know, the mountains may be replaced in the background. I don't know, but the ring in the snow there just looks incredible. And then when Boromir picks it up, it's a really cool scene. And at that point, you're not really sure if you trust Boromir or not. So you're kind of like watching it and you're wondering what he's about to do. Is he going to put it on? What's going to happen? And you can really feel what Frodo is thinking at that point, and I just really like that scene. Okay, number 3 is this scene from The Dark Knight.
看一看。喂，樓下大堂，深唔收到？
Now, this is a movie from Christopher Nolan, which, if you guys don't know by now, Christopher Nolan is probably my favorite director. Everything he makes is just incredible. He is an incredible director. His movies are insane, and I love all his films. I love him as a director. But this scene in particular from the movie The Dark Knight, I mean, every scene in The Dark Knight is incredible, but this one is just so epic. And when the camera sweeps around that tower like that, and the music from Hans Zimmer comes up, and he's just standing there, it'll get the chills going there. Stands there, he puts on his helmet, and then he just drops off, and I just love that he just falls off the edge. Like, anyone would ever do that, but he's Batman, right? Just falls off the edge, and the wings come out, and it's awesome. And just so everybody knows, in my opinion, Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan will always be the best Batman team. Nobody else is ever going to surpass them. Sorry, Ben. Okay, number 4 is this scene from Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Han Solo. I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Take off that mask. You don't need it.
What do you think you'll see if I do?
The face of my son.
Your son, he's gone.
Snoke is using you for your power. When he gets what he wants, he'll crush you. You know it's true.
It's too late.
No, it's not. Leave here with me. Come home.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Will you help me?
Yes, anything.
Now, this scene is really cool because this is when Kylo Ren meets with his father, and they're having this talk and whatever, and later on he stabs him, whatever. But just the lighting in this scene I thought was really cool because if you notice, the entire scene is just red and blue. All the lighting is red and blue, and if that's not the Star Wars lighting theme, I don't know what ever will be. But I noticed most scenes with Kylo Ren in this involve a lot of red and blue light. And I think it's just really cool how they're tying in the original Star Wars colors with all these scenes with him. And this scene in particular where he's talking with his father, he's got all the red light on his face with the blue still behind him. It's just a really cool scene. Feels really cool because he's also trying to make a choice. He's making a big decision. And so you can see both of those colors are in there. And it's just, I feel like it's really cool and just gives it a really cool feel and really makes it feel like Star Wars. All right, the last scene we've got here, number 5, is the hallway fight scene from Inception. This is probably one of my favorite scenes in a movie ever. It is just so good, and it's probably my favorite just because I know how they filmed it. If you don't know how they filmed this, you need to go and watch the behind the scenes on this scene because it is amazing.
After we determined the methodology for rotating the sets, which was basically suspending the set in these huge rings, Chris Corbould had one of his engineers work with us initially on what size the rings needed to be and how they were going to function, because there was an enormous amount of structural steel that needed to be welded and formed months ahead of when the set needed to be built.
There was a series of, I think, 8 30-foot diameter rings, which were all joined together, and each one of those rings was rotated using an electric motor via camshafts and drive wheels. The whole thing had to be built to close tolerances, because if it was out, or if the rings weren't totally round, you know, it would have given us all sorts of problems. It would have created vibrations and bumps, and the main thing about it was the accuracy in actually fabricating the rig.
I mean, the idea of using a centrifuge to manipulate gravity, it's been done on various films, most notably Kubrick's 2001. And I like the idea of repurposing that technology and really trying to choreograph an entire fight sequence and camera movement and all the rest. Really do something that could be completely in camera in a way that, you know, I hadn't seen before.
With any of the sets that required this movement, all the equipment had to be locked into the set. It either had to rotate with it if it made sense, or the set would rotate out of the light. So it did require a lot of planning on my part in order to determine what was going to happen with the lights when the set moved and what was going to happen with the camera. Is the camera separate from the set, or is it actually rotating with the set?
If you lock the camera on the ground, the audience doesn't see the room spinning. The audience just sees us moving all over the place. It looks like we're jumping on the ceiling and stuff. In order to actually get it done, I couldn't think of it that way. I had to think of it as, this is the ground. Okay, now this is the ground. Okay, now this is the ground.
It's like, how did they even think of that? But it's incredible. This scene is probably, in my opinion, one of the best fight scenes in any movie because it's so unique. There is no fight scene like this that I've ever seen in my life in a movie. If I'm wrong about that, point it out to me. I'd love to see it. But it's just so cool how they're having this dream in this van, you know, and the van's flipping over in the air, and as it's happening in the dream, you know, they're fighting and all this stuff. It's just amazing how they're, you know, on the walls and they're on the ceiling and on the floor and they're running around and fighting the whole time. But this scene is just, it's so good, and the fighting is so well done.
So many action movies now, and it's all done on computers later. Whereas these scenes that we did, it was so well thought out. It's just things revolving, and it's up to me to keep my balance, and we did the performance, and they shot it, and that's that. I love that. There's no substitute for real human energy and performance. That was the most fun. It's the most challenging and the most fun.
Now, this is by no means an exhaustive list of my favorite movie scenes. I have a lot of favorite movie scenes. You comment below and tell us some of your favorite movie scenes. I'd love to hear them. And who knows, maybe I'll make part 2 of this video sometime and show some more. Also comment below and tell me what your favorite movie scene is out of this list. I'd love to hear it. So thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to see more of these videos, like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.